This is Jackie Grant. This is the Change and Grow Wellness Show, the show for you, the busy professional who wants to live a healthier, happier life with increased energy and productivity. This show is powered by Raven International Media and Women of Power Radio Network show. Today, we have our guest this week is Karen Hodgson, who is a life coach and mind map practitioner from Brussels, but actually from the UK. She is the owner and founder of Let's Communicate, the Crossroads of Life. Over the last 6 years, Karen has been on a journey from feeling sick and tired to feeling empty and like she felt at the age of 58 on the scrap heap until she found herself. She invested in herself again, which we all do, but this time she found the strategies that unveiled who she really was. So welcome, Karen, to the show.
Well, hi, Jackie. Thank you for having me.
It's all good. It's all good. So people, I'm a bit sick tonight. So if you hear me stutter or anything like that, that's because I'm just not feeling 100%. So Karen, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you became to run your own business.
Wow, that's a long story. But let's cut a long story short. And let's say, like you said, around 58 years old, that was, I had just been fired from what I thought then was a dream job. And it wasn't, but I didn't know that then. And that was when I started going down to this deep, deep black hole. And I thought, I lost all my self-worth, all the self-esteem. I didn't love myself anymore. I was starting to believe, that I wasn't what everybody else was saying. You're too old. Just go and retire. Just, 58, you retire. Well, I don't. And so I just stayed in that place for about 8 months, and I was doing virtually nothing, just going deeper and deeper and deeper and then down the rabbit hole, if you like, and just watching TV, and nothing was of interest to me anymore. But one day, and I don't know why, and why that particular day, I have absolutely no idea. I just woke up that day and I said, Karen, you've got so much to offer the world. So what on earth are you doing just sitting there and watching television? And I don't know why that day and not another. I have absolutely no idea. So I just, as you said, I just decided that I needed help, because you cannot do it by yourself. You just can't. And you've got two choices. You can either go and see a therapist, or you can do what I did, and you can go and see a coach. Either way, you've got to invest in yourself.
Yeah.
With the therapist, you invest money, but with coaching, you invest even more money. So, I'm not lying. We must have invested, because my husband and I both did. He believes in me. He's been my rock and everything. We invested, I don't know, about $50,000, if a dollar. But I did, in all the sea of coaches that are out of there, I knew what I wanted. And I knew that the person for 58 years who I had been living, the life I had been living, was not me. And I found the coach who could give me the tools to find out who I really was and what I was really supposed to be doing on this earth. Because we all have something that we're going to be doing. But you need to find out who you are first. So that's what I did. And that's when I decided that I was going to share, I was going to give back. And I decided to create my first business, which is Let's Communicate.
Okay.
Now, actually, we created Let's Communicate together, my husband and I, because he too, the very same year that I was fired, he lost his job a month later.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that was just like, I lost my job in November, he lost it in December.
Oh,
so
gosh.
We had a fantastic Christmas that year, as you can well imagine.
Oh, God.
They can laugh about it now, but it wasn't very funny at all then. And it was easier for him because he has also communication, if you like, but telecommunication. So he's an expert in mobile phone networks. So he soon found, well, actually, it's the same company where he was fired from. He's now working as an independent consultant. So he works for much more money. So that was good. So it's kind of out of the door and he climbed back in through the window.
I like that.
Yeah, it was lovely, was that? So that was him sorted out. And I had to get the coaching and I had to find who I really was. Who is this person?
Mm.
Well, Karen is a communicator. It's as simple as that. I'm a people person. And everything that I learned, I use now today in my business. You see, and that's where communication, we don't communicate enough. Whether it's with yourself, because you can have good conversations with yourself. And it's not because we're going crazy. It's just a question of talking to yourself and finding out what's good for you there and then. And communicating with others. That's it's a big lack in every town, every person, every country, all over the world. That's what we're lacking. So I decided to create the company Let's Communicate.
Brilliant.
So,
So I know that, because I kind of made the theme tonight around mind maps, and I know it's only a little part of your business, but tell us a bit about how you use mind maps in your business.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'll tell you about how I got to start using mind maps. It's actually thanks to my daughter. My daughter was at that time still in university, and she came home one day and she said, "Mom, we've been using this great tool. I've learned how to mind map." And I just looked at her, I said, "You've what?" She said, "Mind maps." And she said, "And do you know," because we live in Belgium, and she said, "And do you know something? The inventor of mind maps, Tony Buzan, he's British." So I thought, "Oh, he's British. Oh, yeah, great." So that got me intrigued. And I asked her to show me what a mind map was. And in a few words, the mind map is actually like, it's a visual representation of what you are thinking about at that particular time. So let's say let's take putting a business together. Okay, so you have your central idea would be the business. This is your title of your book, My Business. Now, instead of writing it in a linear form, you have all these little branches that branch out. And the cool thing is, and it's a fantastic thing, is that you get every single thing, every single thought, every single item, everything that you need to do in that business that needs to be made up on one single page. So visually, you have, in German, we call it a Gestalt. It means the whole. So you have a whole picture. And as she showed me that sort of spoke to me. And I thought, this is fantastic. I would really love to do that. It's creative, it's colorful, because we use lots of colors and to make differences. So we use colors. And that's why I decided to do mind maps. So, and me being the person I am, I do things backwards. So I went onto the computer, researched a little bit who Tony Buzan is, because he's still alive. Found out who he is, found out that there was an application that his team had invented and called iMindMap, bought the application, put it on the computer and started creating mind maps. And it was fantastic. Yeah. Absolutely fantastic. And then I decided to get trained by Tony Buzan himself.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, that was absolutely amazing. I went to, where did I go? To Henley in London. Okay. Or just outside London, I believe it is. Yeah. So Henley, I went there and spent 4 fantastic days with Tony. And he taught me me and a few others who came from all over the world, how to mind map and how to become one of his licensed instructors, one of the very few licensed instructors. And that's what I am today. I still teach mind mapping all over the world if I'm asked to go there. In Belgium, there are 2 of us who are licensed instructors. Yeah, there's very, very, very few. I don't know how many in England, but it's not that well known here in Belgium. Okay. Put it this way, much more in England, because I know you use them yourself, Jackie. Don't you? Yeah.
I mean, I used them when I was doing my university course, and the thing is that pictures are really useful. What I find is that instead of writing the whole thing out, if you've got a picture and the picture means so much more than, if I wrote it down, like you say, it would have been pages and pages. But if I had a picture of all the things that surround in the center of what I was trying to remember for my courses, then it was really useful.
Exactly. It's useful for cramming for exams, for example, as you were saying. You get everything on one page. And the ideal thing is, because as you are using different colors and pictures and everything. You're kind of color coding, for want of a better word. You know, what's important to you will automatically come out in one of your favorite colors. For example, whenever I make a mind map, I frequently start with blue because blue is one of my favorite colors. And it just automatically, I'll pick up a blue pen and start doing in blue. If I'm using the computer, I will find pictures, because pictures speak 1,000 words. And then from there, you just go on with a few words. We use keywords as well. And it's not difficult to remember, and it's not difficult to know what a mind map means, because especially one you created it. You thought of the keyword. You see, you thought of that using that picture. So whenever you want to reread it, because that's what we do with a mind map, it's a work in progress, and it's never finished. It just keeps going on and on and on. The only limitation we have, if you're doing it freehand on paper, is the size of the paper. And even then, what's to stop you from sticking other pieces of paper all the way around it? Nothing. You see?
I mean, the thing is, you can use them because, I mean, generally people use vision boards, and I suppose you in the same way, couldn't you?
You could. Yes, you could. You just use pictures and you use the different branches. We call them branches, like it's organic. So like a tree. Okay, you make it kind of wavy, not a straight line. It's too rigid. It's not nice. It just doesn't flow. So yes, you could use it instead of a vision board. In fact, before vision boards became the craze, we used mind maps. It's kind of the precursor to a vision board, I think.
Ah, brilliant.
I still tend to use mind maps rather than a vision board, because, especially when I'm using the computer, because of the it's so easy to put a branch in between. Like if I've got two branches for one following each other like that, I can pop a third one into it, and with the computer, it just opens up.
Yeah.
And then I've got a good thing on the computer as well in that particular program. Just press clean up, and it sorts it all out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And I love using it, and I love teaching it. And the best thing is that you can learn how to mind map and use the software just in one single day.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
So you use it quite a bit with your clients then?
I do. Yeah, in both, yeah. I use with companies and group courses, but we also use it in individual courses. It depends on what the client wants. I always give the client a choice. Would you like a group course, or would you like a one-on-one? It's the same thing. I even do it online.
Wow. I didn't know that there was an actual program that you could use it online.
You could. It's called
I just got the book.
Yeah, it's called It's called iMind Map in one word.
Okay.
Just stick them all together. iMind Map, and they are now on their 11th version.
Okay.
And it gets better and better and better each time, of course.
So thanks for that. That was amazing. It's really good to, just really get a bit more of a gist about my maps, because I haven't used them for a while. I mean, when I went to uni, not that it was that long ago, but still.
What do you mean?
So, Karen, who do you specifically work with? What in your business? What type of client do you work with?
Well, it varies. I mean, I go from working with the topics. Well, to first start off with, I prefer to work with women. I don't have anything against men. I mean, but I prefer to work with women, and especially for the second company, which is more the personal development side. I just find it doesn't work with men because it always goes south. There's always something that happens, and so I just said, all right, that's it. I don't want to work with men anymore. But with the mind maps, for example, the majority are men.
Okay.
And there's no problem. I don't know why, but the majority of all the clients that I have are men. So I can go from the top executives right down to the normal assistants, if you like, in Let's Communicate. To the stay-at-home mom who wants to organize her time better because it's brilliant for time management.
Right.
And anybody, but not at the same time.
Okay.
See, I would just I can put, if I want to do it in a group, I can put top executives together, or I can create a group of stay-at-home moms because they don't have the same vision.
Okay.
You see? And as it's a one-day course, well, you need to be able to get on together. And there would be a kind of a clash, because the businessman would want it to use it for a business thing, and the stay-at-home mom would want to do it for another thing, and that doesn't quite mix. So I always keep them separate.
So in terms of those courses, what is the specific outcome for those courses for those people? What are they looking to achieve?
They're looking to be able to manage their time more, and well, all of them want more clarity, and that's what they get. It's clarity.
Okay.
I think the main word would be clarity. Yes.
So it's clarity in work life or clarity in their home life. What piece is it?
Any
Both.
kind of clarity. Both. Wherever you want clarity. It can be clarity in your own life. Like if you don't really know who you are, well, then just like you could take a mind map, because we're still on the subject of mind maps here. Just take a mind map. You put a photo of yourself or a picture of yourself. You can draw a stick picture if you want, or you can just give a name, anything. As long as you know that's who you're talking about. And then start drawing the different lines, and you branch out the different branches, and you keep adding sub branches and everything else until you get a complete vision of who you think you are.
Okay.
With the emphasis on think. Okay? Because once you look at it, you then take a step back. And literally, when I say a step back, I mean a step back. You get up and you have a look at it from a different angle. And that's when you get to thinking, yeah, but that's not who I really am. If I'm taking the person who wants to change, I don't want this part anymore. Or this, I don't want to do this. I wanted to do it another way. So with a mind map, then you can start again. If it's on a piece of paper, you just start again and rethink the whole thing and do another mind map. See what I'm getting at? And then when you've looked at the first one, don't throw it away. Just look at the first one, and then you make the changes. We're coming into the theme of change. And that's when you start changing things and you kind of have an introspection of yourself. You're digging deep down into who you really are, into what's important for you at that time, because it changes. What was important yesterday might not be important today, and it won't be the same thing tomorrow. It won't change that much, but it will a little bit. And with the mind map, it's a good way to put all those ideas onto paper just by using keywords or pictures. And you don't have to be good at drawing, because who's gonna look at that mind map, honestly? Yourself.
Yeah.
But the other cool thing with mind maps, now if I'm going to have it on a business sense, the very good things like if you and I were colleagues and you had given a mind map, you're going to give a presentation this afternoon or this evening or whatever time, but it's evening now, tomorrow morning, let's say, and you just said, Karen, I'm sick today. I don't think I'm going to be in tomorrow. I don't know who's going to give this presentation. Can you do it? I can take your mind map, because I know the subject. I can take your mind map and I can give that presentation instead of you.
Okay.
I would automatically know what you're talking about.
Hopefully. From my pictures.
Well, then we better use keywords. But it's one of the things, you can pass the mind map to a colleague and they should be able to, as we use the word should be able to give the mind map, the presentation in your place.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, it's really brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
So I know you've talked a bit about Let's Communicate, and, because I think it's a really good name, because we really don't communicate as much as we used to,
That's true.
With technology now, we just text, there's no hardly use of the phone. I mean, I don't even use my home phone. I've just plugged it out. I don't even have it in. But, remember the letter. I mean, what ever happened to a letter and a postcard?
The what? No, that was just a joke on our part, but yeah, exactly. What happens to the letter? I mean, the poor postman, all he ever delivers now is packages.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it was my birthday recently, and I got one birthday card.
No way.
Yeah. I mean, of all the thousands of people I know from Facebook and everybody else, maybe they don't have my home address, But from family, I mean, between us, my husband and I, we have 5 children. Do you think any one of them sends me a birthday card? No way.
No way.
No, they'll just text me, happy birthday, Mum.
Oh.
Yeah, I just got one birthday card from another British friend of mine she's kept really the traditional way, you know, and I sent her a birthday card, and I don't think she receives very many either. One.
That is amazing.
Yeah,
but
so I've decided it's going to stay on the cupboard here until next year.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's like what I'm saying is like, you know, we tend not to communicate as much as we used to. Do you know what I mean? I must admit, I do like, you know, still meeting people in a cafe, you know, to have a catch up, especially as I do networking meetings. So networking, I do a lot of networking, and, you know, also Zoom, because I spoke to you on Zoom, didn't I?
Yes, you did. Yeah, I use Zoom a lot.
Yeah, so, you know, we're still communicating that way. And I suppose, you know, I think there's FaceTime. I've never used that, but
never used it.
So there are different ways of communicating nowadays, but I do find that it's much more around text, isn't it?
It is, yeah. A text is so easy to use. There's WhatsApp, and yeah, I do lots of videos on WhatsApp. Well, not when I'm coaching, but I mean, with my daughter, for example, it's usually when the little boys want to see their grandma. So
yeah.
And especially because the 3-year-old grandson, he likes to switch it off, you know. So when he likes to push the red button, so hang up. Hangs up.
So in terms of Let's Communicate, what does that business piece do?
Well, Let's Communicate will do the mind map. I started out with doing language training as well, because I also teach languages. Don't forget, I live in Belgium, which is a French-speaking country, French and Dutch. So English would be a language that I could teach. I taught English and Dutch, because I do speak Dutch as well. My mother was Belgian, so I'm half and half. And I taught Dutch and English for about 14 years on and off. But honestly, don't ask me to teach any languages anymore, because I've just had it up to there kind of thing with.
Oh, wow.
You know, language training here in Belgium is a thing with companies. They always want people to learn languages, except the employees don't want to learn them. That's the problem. So when you go in to teach a language, and you know, week after week after week, you've got to repeat the same things, because they never look at the books or what we've done, or the mind maps, because I teach languages through mind maps. They just come to the course. We do the course, they fill out the mind maps, they create the mind maps, then they put it away, and the next week they bring it out again. Okay. But of course, they've forgotten what I've told them. So, I mean, I had one client, I remember her, and it was, I think I did like 90 hours of one-on-one coaching with her. It was in English, one-on-one coaching with her, and we were still on the first level. Like, she still could not introduce herself.
Oh, wow.
After 90 hours. So I said, this is not possible. I'm not coming anymore. You know, it's just not possible, because she didn't want to. It's as simple as that. She needed English, but she didn't want to. There's a big difference between need and want. Yeah. So that was one of the things, you know. But I went there religiously for all the 90 hours.
Well done, you.
Yeah. Well, she came as well, so.
So also the crossroads of life, because, you know, so this is your second part of your business, isn't it, really? And, you know, the crossroads of life, everyone comes to a crossroads in their life. So I really, really love that company name. So, and, you know, we all have changes, and we all come to a different crossroads. I mean, I came to a crossroads when I decided to stop, you know, my past life, as I call it. I always call it past life, like I've reborn. I am reborn.
It is actually. Yeah, in each business, it's like birthing a baby. I mean, it's the same thing.
Yeah, I'm reborn into, you know, my health coaching and personal training, you know. So from, you know, being a strategic manager in drug and alcohol services. So that, you know, that I came to a crossroads then. And, you know, comes to Crossroads at different times, and I'm sure you've come to different crossroads in your life. So,
Oh goodness,
I mean,
yeah.
it must resonate with a lot of people in terms of being there to come and work with you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that is the thing. I would say that whenever we decide, or we're feeling empty or unhappy, or there's something off. Let's put it this way: there's something off. You are at a crossroads. You come to a crossroads because you're thinking, now what can I do? It's a question. What can I do? Where can I go? Which direction should I take? Which decision should I make? All those things come into mind of being at a crossroads, because there are so many things that you could do. And it was when I was at a crossroads, even with the mind mapping, because here in Belgium, as I said, it's not that strong. I think if I give about 3 courses a year, it's a lot. So I knew I was at a crossroads. I mean, I knew I had to do something. Because I'm not ready to retire. I mean, retire is not for me. So I thought, okay, this is a crossroads. So I'm here. I said, what can I do now? I was really interested in personal development and retreats and everything going around that kind of business. So I thought back to the coaching that I got when I was 58, when I crawled out of my hole and everything else. And it was a lot of personal development and learning how to feel wanted again, and to go and get my natural talents. And I'm using these words very specifically because that's what I do now. So the crossroads of life is like my new little baby. And this little baby is like 2 years old now.
Okay.
It's a toddler. So I've got a little toddler, and I've got different programs in it now. And here again, as clients, well, I go everywhere, from the executives who are maybe stressed out, who don't know how to manage their time, who know that they have to manage family, teenagers, babies, meetings, businesses, everything like that. So the two can merge. You see, I will teach them how to de-stress, because there are ways. I do have tools and everything on how to de-stress, but also on how to use the mind map to better manage the time and better do everything that's expected of her. Again, it's usually a her, but especially on the personal business side, but it's a her. So she will then learn how to manage the teenagers who are not doing what they're told, etc. Even how to manage the little ones, because she'll find herself with more free time, simply because I gave her the tools, and mind maps is one of them, to do it.
So do you want to tell us about one of your clients that have come to you, what the struggles that they had when they first came to you, and what were the outcomes that they got as a result of working with you?
Well, there's a few here, particularly a lot of, well, I can think of 2 or 3 who came to me specifically because they were lacking in confidence. They didn't feel that, they didn't dare, put it this way, just use the word dare. They didn't dare. They knew what they wanted to do, but they didn't dare. So that is a lack of confidence. And I walked them through backwards. I sort of did a reverse engineering to get to, where did this come from? So we went back in time to where it all started, and to what triggered the thing in the first place. Because when you get to that place, you find out what happened. This little thing, there are always little things that happen then that will come and trigger you today. So once we had found out what happened and what was wrong, then I gave them the tools, and they're all different, but there's one common point: it was lacking confidence. And that is in so many people, and believe it or not, in me as well. Because I have to use the same tools as well. Whenever I want to do a new thing, I have to give myself a kick up the backside as well. And with these people who have now become friends as well, we still see each other, and I still remind them of the little tools, just push them along the way and just say, remember when we used to do that? Remember this? Remember that? Oh yeah, that's right. And they're off. It's as easy as that. And I had another client who suffered from burnout. And of course, it would have been good had she come to me before.
Mm.
But even when she was in burnout, what are the main causes of burnout? So we went through, again, reverse engineering to when it started, to the first symptoms. And that was how I was able to identify what symptoms caused the actual burnout now.
Yeah.
And I was able to help it. It takes time.
Yeah.
And she worked with me for for a long time, for a few months actually. And she saw a therapist at the same time. So a therapist, they don't give you the tools. They'll just say all the answers are inside of you. Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
But give me the tools to get them out, you know? So that's me. That's where I come in. What did you say?
I said, you crack me up. They just of you.
Well, that's me. I'm a bubbly person.
But it's true, isn't it? The answers are inside of you, yeah. And
yeah, and how am I supposed to get them out? You know. No, but there are tools. I have the specific tools, and I can help you get them out. And yes, they are there.
Yeah,
just
and I mean that's
it's a case of just thank me later. Just do it and thank me later.
It's funny how different therapists work than coaches, because coaches actually give you the tools, accountability, and actually hold your hand along the way until you get to where you want to be. Whereas it's like the other day when someone said to me, well, are you a nutritionist? And I said, well, I'm not, I'm a health coach. And I work totally different to how a health nutritionist would work, So, because I would give the tools, I would do the mindset work, where a nutritionist wouldn't do that.
No, exactly.
So, yeah.
And I do the same thing, I give them the tools and the mindset to bring them out.
Yeah.
But working together with a therapist in some cases, like with the case of this girl, this young lady who was completely burnt out, that she needed the therapist, and I would never, ever, ever say, don't go to see your doctor anymore, or don't take the medication, never. Because I'm not a doctor.
Exactly.
Okay. I can help you. I can give you the tools, but I am not a doctor. And there again, it's
and the thing is,
yeah, go on.
Thing is, it's good to work in collaboration with those people.
Yeah.
Because also they may have other clients, they may need your support and vice versa. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. And there again, mostly I work with women because men, they tend to not want to talk about it.
Feelings.
That's the problem. Yeah, that's the problem with men. And especially with burnout or with the symptoms. I mean, I know my own son, my youngest son, I could recognize the symptoms. I recognized the symptoms of burnout well before he admitted that there was something wrong. And but of course, son, mother, it's always difficult, to treat your own family. There is a reason why you say to doctors you don't treat your own family. There is a reason for that. But even in coaching, I found out with my youngest son, he just wouldn't listen to me. It was just, oh no, I'm all right, Mum. until he was completely burnt out. But then I didn't go and say I told you so. No.
So you've got a Facebook group, Unbelievable, Unique, Unstoppable You. Yes, me.
Yes, that's what we are, aren't we?
Oh.
Yeah.
So,
yes, I have. So I think everybody in the whole world should be in that Facebook group. Because all the women in the world, because that's what we are. We are unbelievable, unique, and unstoppable. I mean, look at the two of us here. Well, that's what we are. And anybody who is interested in joining that Facebook group, just click on my name. I mean, on the Crossroads of Life. You can also see it on the website, on everything else. I'm sure Jacqueline will give it to you. And just join us, because that's where everything's happening in that Facebook group. And that's where I'm going to be giving some good trainings and everything else. And little secret that you don't even know, Jacqueline. That's cool. Where I am going to be posting everything for my next retreat, which will be next year in Lanzarote.
Oh no, you told me about the retreat. Tell us a little bit about the retreat.
Retreats. Yeah, well, retreats are usually about 6
Your
days.
retreat.
Sorry?
Your retreat. Your
My
retreat.
retreats. My retreats. Ooh, my retreats. Yeah. Well, we have themes. Now, the theme of this next one is fire. Fire equals confidence, right? And we're going to Lanzarote because it's one of the most volcanic islands in the Atlantic Ocean. In fact, there are like 32 dormant volcanoes in the national park. And you get to even touch, well, practically touch it because they put sand on your hand, which is at 80 degrees. It's
Great.
hot. It's really hot. You know, and when I went there last year, and that's when I got the idea started to, come into my mind. And it's a bit scary in that national park because those volcanoes are dormant. So you have to be a bit confident. I mean, they took us to a restaurant where the meat, and we're going to have lunch there, by the way, the meat and everything is grilled using volcanic heat.
Right.
So you see this kind of well. It looks like a well, but it's actually a fire pit. And it's, I don't know how many meters down, but you can't approach it because it's 400 degrees.
Wow.
And when you walk around it, I thought, the soles of my shoes were getting hot because it was metal things on the floor. And that was just when the guide said to us, and you see the metal things here on the floor, well, just be careful where you're walking. And he took a bottle of water and he emptied it and it just sort of sizzled, And I said, oh, that's why my leg and my feet are getting hot. And I just took a step back. I said, I'm not walking there anymore. So it's confidence. You see?
Cool. Yeah.
And so we're going to have this theme of fire, and we're going to do some coaching, of course. We are going to do some work. We're going to work on that. Light your fire. So bring out motivation, confidence, bringing out your confidence in yourself and getting to do what you really want to do. I'm going to do a vision walk there as well.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. So I don't know if you know what vision walks are. So it's like a really long meditation.
Yeah.
And then I send you off to continue your thinking and meditation. And then you'll come back and we'll discuss it and we'll interpret what you have seen on your walk. And I give you the tools to get on your way. That's going to be part of it as well. So this is a new thing that's just been born.
Oh,
I went on a vision walk myself and it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
So Karen, thank you for tonight. Tell people where they can find you. What is your website? Where can people find you?
Well, it's not that difficult. So if you said 3 times W, so www.thecrossroadsoflife, all in one word, .com. Can't be more simple than that. The Facebook group of the same name. So you just get on https / is it facebook.com / The Crossroads of Life, all in one, and that's it as well. And then the unbelievable, unique, and unstoppable you. Just type that in Google and you can get to it. I really, really, really invite you over there because you're going to have lots and lots of fun things going on there. So, in fact, there already are. So we're with a group of women.
So if you put those links in the comments, that way it's easier for people to find you.
Yeah.
After
do I put them in the comments or do you?
No, you can put it in the comments. You just go over to my page, put it in the comments.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Got to tell me all these things. I'm not that tech savvy.
As we round up and end today, any freebies?
I didn't catch what you said to me then. What did you say?
Any freebies for our audience?
Yes. I have, of course, I have offer you a 45-minute or an hour, something like that, consultation call just to talk about what you actually want and to see if we're a good fit together and to which one of the programs. There's also a free audio it's called What Matters Most. So there we're talking about all your values and it's an audio, the first session of the audios. Afterwards, there are another 5 more. So I invite you to get back. And that's what's on there for the moment.
Brilliant. Well,
but the most efficient is the consultation call with me.
Great. Thank you, Karen. It's been really interesting learning about mind maps, learning about you, learning about the crossroads of life, your retreat. It's been amazing. Thank you very much for being on tonight. And everyone, I will see you again on Friday. I will be on. And now my days are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And obviously, the Change and Grow show is on a Wednesday. So take care, have a good evening, and I will see you all soon.
Bye.
Bye.